Okay, in this video we're going to continue on with our assignment 7 that we kind of got started already, okay? In previous ones we created this project and we created the module, and then we worked on a couple of different, let's switch over to that, worked on a couple of files that we put into our input validation module, okay? We did a do again, and we did a menu, okay? We created these nice little functions that work pretty well that we can reuse in our code. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and we're going to continue on, okay? We created this project, okay? And we created this module, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to create all these little functions in here. And I'm going to take and copy these out of here, so I don't have to worry about going back and forth looking all the time. Back into here again, I'm going to go into my validation right there, .vb, and with my main here, I'm going to paste those right above my main. And there's a way of taking a chunk of code here, edit, advanced, and I can take and comment the whole section out, okay? And now I can use these just for comments, okay? Get rid of some extra stuff here I might not need. That, okay? And so we want to create a function to get an integer, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to start out writing it here in our main, okay? And then we're going to change it into a function, okay? Usually when we get an integer from somebody, okay, what we want to do first is give them a prompt, okay? Console.write is our prompt, okay? And type in an integer like that, something like that, okay? And then we do a number is equal to console, oh, I got something weird there, but it's okay, console dot read line, okay, like that. And this is supposed to be just number, like that. And of course I don't have a number, dim number as a string. Okay, we're going to get it out as a string first. Let's actually just do it as an integer. And we'll change that to a string, and I'll show you in just a minute what I'm doing here. Number is equal to, and of course this isn't going to work because this has got to be a cint. Like that, okay? Like that, and that will work, okay? So let's go ahead and run that and see what happens here. Of course, it'll work as good as long as we give it a number, okay? No problem, okay? But let's give it a letter, and of course that's not going to work, okay? Let's give it a letter A, and of course we get a big old fat error here, okay? Let's fix that so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to loop this while it's not an integer, okay? Do. And then down here we're going to say loop while. Okay, number, let's do is numeric, okay? Number, like that. Okay, we're going to loop while. The only problem is we don't want to loop while it is numeric. We want to loop while it's not a numeric, okay? Like that. And so now we go ahead and run it. Let's change one more thing in here. This changes to a string now, because otherwise it's going to crash, okay, when we do a cint here. And now we don't have to change this to a cint. We can just do it to a console.readline like that. Now if we go ahead and run it like this, okay, type in an integer, okay, and I'm going to type in a 1, of course that works, okay. And now let's run it again with a letter A. Oh, and it keeps typing. A, okay. Letter 1, of course, then it ends. Let's put a little prompt in there to say, hey, you're doing something wrong. If. Now here we use the same, as we've been doing before, we're going to use the same condition, okay, as our loop down here. We'll get the while in there. Copy that, stick that in there, then enter like that, okay. If not numeric, then this gives them a console. Just tell them what's going on, okay? Dot write line, you must type in an integer something like that, okay? So now if we run it, explains to the user a little bit more what we're going to do. Type an integer. I'm going to put in a letter A. It says you must type in an integer, type in a 3, and it runs, okay? Just like that. Beautiful thing. We wrote that nice little piece of code. Just make a function out of it, because that's something that we're going to use again. Function, let's just, it says it right up above here, okay? Get integer. Whoop. Okay, like that. And for now, let's not give it a prompt, okay? Let's just say as an integer, okay? We'll work that out as we go, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to cut all this stuff out of here we just created. It works well up here. It works so well, we're going to cut it out of there. We're going to put it in a function so we can reuse it, okay? The only thing is we have to return something, so let's return our number, like that, okay? And we can't return number because that's a string. Let's do C into that, because now we can return a integer, okay? Beautiful. Now to call this, all we have to do up here is we have to say console dot write line, and what do I want to write? I want to write that get right there, integer, and of course there's no parameters, so I can just go like that. Control 5, what do we got going on here? Type in an integer, E, no, you must type in an integer, a 1, beautiful, it works, okay? The only thing is, the requirements for this says that I have to send this prompt down here, okay? This prompt that says write in an integer. And we can do that by receiving it right here by val, okay, prompt as a string, like that, okay? And now rather than typing this in here this time, I'm going to make this so it's a little more dynamic and flexible, okay? I'm going to just put in whatever that prompt is, okay? I'm going to print that out. And now, of course, up here, I have to send it that, don't I? Okay? And so say the type in an integer. Like that. Okay? Beautiful. It's not, it's going to do the same thing, okay? It's going to do the same thing, but only whatever I type in here is going to show up. Right, there it is, okay? Type an integer. See, whatever I put in here, where is it? I'm in the wrong one. I flipped screen somehow. There we go, okay? Whatever I type into here, okay, is going to show up right here. Beautiful. I'm all done with that one, okay? Let's go ahead and cut this from here. We're going to put it into our, cut it from there, Control X, okay? Go to your module called input validation. We're going to paste it right at the bottom here between this end function and this end module here, like that, okay? Just like that. Beautiful. Okay, go back to here to call this now. This will work, but I'm going to use my input, or where is it? PU, right there. Input validation dot get integer, like that, okay? Just so the user or the other programmers know what I'm doing here. Beautiful, so we got that one done. The next one is the same thing, but only we want to put a min and a max in there, okay? I think I still got this on my clipboard. So I'm going to put that old one back in here again, okay? That's the old one that we just did. If you don't have that, you can go to validation, input validation module in the function that we just created, copy it and put it back in here again. This time, rather than just the string, okay, of prompt, comma, we want to receive by val, okay, min as integer, comma, and also by val max as integer, like that. There, beautiful. Okay, just like that, okay? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to receive that, okay? The only thing is we have to put some stuff in here that will say, no, you're outside of that, okay? First of all, in here where it says you must type in an integer, okay? We're going to say between, and then we want to put min in here, so we're going to put a quotation mark plus min dot to string plus quotation mark space and quotation mark and or plus max dot to string plus another quotation mark like that, okay, just like that, something like that. So now it's going to be dynamic. Whatever comes in here, it's going to pop up here, okay? If you were to run this program right now, it would do something like this, okay? Type in an integer. Okay, well, we don't want to do that. Let's start over again. Rather than say type in an integer up here, let's give it that. Type in an integer from 1 to 10, okay? And then let's also send it, comma, 1 as my min and 10 as my max, just like that. It doesn't like it because we haven't put it into input validation yet. Get rid of this right here. Just use the get integer that I have currently down here, okay? Like that. And then everybody's happy, okay? Control F5. I say go ahead and get an integer from 1 to 10. If I put in a C, it says nope, I need one from 1 to 10. Okay, if I type in 11 at this point, okay, oh, it continued. Evidently, I have to write some more code for that, okay? We have to loop while not that or else. I'm going to talk about or else later, but or else, and then I want to say cint number is less than my minimum, or cint number is greater than my max, like that, okay? And I'm going to have to put parentheses around this whole thing, so or else treats this as one large piece of code here, like that, okay? Number, oh, I forgot my cint here, cint, like that. Beautiful, just like that, okay? And, well, now I got too much junk in here. What did I do wrong here? I don't know. Let's fix it. Every once in a while I make mistakes too, you know, like that maybe. We got one too many parentheses right here, like that. Sorry about that. Okay, make sure you get that all right. Okay, or else, and then once again we're going to treat this as one big group. Cint of number is less than min, or cint number is greater than max. Notice how we're going to loop while everything is wrong, okay? You always loop while a negative thing is going on here. Once again, I have to copy this or else stuff right here. Control C that. Stick that right up in here, right here in front of your then, okay? Because remember, this has got to be the same. This if statement has to have the same condition as my loop. Now if I go ahead and run it, we've got here, type in integer from 1 to 10, I'm going to type in D, okay? Nope, I must type in that. I'll put in 11, okay? Nope, still doesn't like it. I'll type in a 5. Boom, perfect, okay? Great, perfect, okay? Let's go ahead and copy this again, or cut this. Control X, okay? We're going to put that back in our input validation stuff, right underneath the other one, okay? Right there, okay? You notice we have two functions here with the same name. However, they have different parameters, okay? Once again, that's called overloading, isn't it? Okay. To call that, okay, let's see, main. Okay, you got to call that, okay. I actually have it called right here, don't I? Except for I have to take and make sure I get my input validation there so they know where I'm calling that from, like that. Okay, beautiful. I lost the previous one, didn't I? Control X or Control C. Let's make another one, okay? Because this one here does not have It just says type in an integer, doesn't it? Let's get rid of stuff like that. And no parameters for this one. Okay. That's what the assignment requires. That, let's see right here, that I actually take an example of code to call the function. Okay, you have to have that when you're all done. Okay, the next one's get double. Well, how hard can that be? Integer to a double. Well, let's go here to our input validation folder. Okay, let's copy the first one. Okay, this one here just gets the prompt. Let's copy that. I'm going to make this really easy for you, okay? Hit enter right there, put it right there. And rather than get double, notice I made a copy. Don't do this to the original one. Double. And I'm going to return a double. And I'm going to say you must return a double. Like that. And then I want to take and I want to send it back as a double. So I want to read line, okay. Let's see, right here, C double right here, okay. Like that, okay. So you got that one done. This is a little piece of code that does that, okay. Let's go ahead and copy this top one here because it's so similar, isn't it? Like that, and not get integer, but get double. Like that, and type in a double, we'll tell it. Like that, okay. I'm going to comment these other two out because I don't want to waste my time filling those in. Control F5, okay, there we go. Type in a double. I'm going to type in a F, okay. It must be a double, and so I'm going to type in a 2, and that works, okay. And don't worry about, is it a double, is it an integer? Don't worry about that. Just make sure that this one returns a double, okay. So now all you have to do is these three right here. With a letter, you're going to do the very opposite of a number, okay. Let's go back to our valid right here, okay. Rather than using it not is numeric, okay. With the ones that if you do a letter, you want to say is numeric, okay. So you want to loop while it is numeric and make sure that it's not a number.